Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs Podcast presented by DraftKings, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app. Use the promo code CHGO when you sign up and rack up another series win for your Chicago Cubs.
Boom, baby. Let's go.
5 out of the last 6. Nice bounce back after losing 3 out of 4 games to the Dodgers.
Yes.
They don't lose back-to-back series. They keep on chugging. Beat the Padres 2 out of 3.
Intended.
Yeah.
No pun intended on the chugging.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
The chugging will be coming here in a few seconds. 14-10 on the season now, the Cubs, as they beat the Padres 5-2. Hello to everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you hit the like button as you jump on in here and join the fun. If you're listening to this later on Spotify or Apple, wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you check out the YouTube and subscribe sometime so that you can join us live and give us the 5-star review as well. The chat is live and friendly on a Thursday. It's sunny. Fly the W. Chug, chug. Chug it up, I saw. Luke, I agree wholeheartedly, says Lucas. And somebody else at the top was speaking on behalf of everybody.
20, all 29
Foreign
of
Empire
us.
says, I agree with Luke and Eric Matthews. All 29 of us agree with Luke.
So I said on pregame that if you use hashtag vibes or hashtag vibe with us, I will read your comment. Or if you just agree with me, but mainly if you use the hashtag.
Oh, you can't steal the agree with me. That's an exclusive. See, everybody agrees with me now.
It's an exclusive. I'll give it to you, Stuck.
But the Beer Bat exclusive is coming up. Cody trying to break his record, his all-time record for, well, this is like 14 now.
Yeah.
And by the way, fresh shipment of the 312 and Goose Island beers.
Oh yeah, I tweeted a picture of it earlier.
Check that out.
We got like a whole like a cart of it, like not like a Walmart cart, but like a
dolly.
A dolly.
Not a Walmart cart, like a massive warehouse dolly full of beer.
One might say the vibes are very good at CHGO Studios.
Cody Del Chugo is on his way.
Before we pour, how about Hayden Wesneski, man?
He
was
nice bounce back.
He was a roller coaster. He got lucky on a few balls. Cronenworth is one I can remember only because I lost the hit parlay because of him, and the one hard hit he had was right into Seiya Suzuki's glove, and it would have been a big hit for the Padres at the time too because they were down 3-1. Whatever. He was able to get out of that inning. He had some nice strikeouts, but he gave you 5 strong. And I said in pregame I wanted 6, but considering how he was going. He was good enough against this very, very tough Padres lineup. So all the credit to him for coming back and, getting I think this is a huge confidence builder for him. And this is a bigger confidence builder for him than what he did against the Oakland A's, in my opinion. So,
it's a way better lineup. No question about that. Way better lineup at Wrigley Field.
He had one inning where he got 2 quick outs on like 3 or 4 pitches. And then I think the bases ended up getting loaded with 2 outs. And Nick Madrigal with a really, really nice play at third. It's earned a whole week's worth of no complaining about Nick Madrigal from me. That's how great of a player
earned your
was.
Respect.
Yeah, well, it's not that I never
the old
respected
Rizzo,
him.
Respect me.
It's not that It's not that I never respected him. It's more of like I just don't like watching him have to play third base. But I give credit where credit is due. I'm a man of integrity, some people say. And, I won't complain about him for a whole week now. So that was a big play. Thompson came in to save an inning. I think that was after Leiter came in, actually, and Thompson saved him. But there was so in the middle innings when Wesneski was out there, he got a big defensive play that helped him get through. And, again, it was a roller coaster, but, sometimes that's how it's going to be. And He figured it out today. I think that's what he did best, was just figured it out. So it helps having a good defense behind you, too.
The chat is already predicting times for Cody's chug. I saw somebody saying, oh, damn, I missed the chug. It hasn't happened yet. That is an empty beer bat ready to be filled with ice-cold 312 from Goose Island. Daniel says, what if I agree with Steve? That sort of counts. Ravi says he agrees with me.
Marcus says the vibes are flowing. He said vibes, so I read it.
I see a chug, chug, chug. Fresh beer for Cody. Agree. The fearless investor agrees with me. You can't take my agree with me. Cody
All
is
right.
the man. Beer bat number 14. Are we ready? Let's get the beer pour.
Here we're pouring right now.
Ice cold, newly delivered, fresh 312 from just down the street.
Yes.
The innovation tanks and whatnot over at
This
on Fulton.
pour, the pour from the last one, if you watch the last winter, the
Get my
pour was
calculator ready.
elite, and I feel like I'm figuring it out a little bit.
Last
I
night was
do have a
24
question.
seconds.
I have a question.
Yes.
Have you washed that beer bat since opening day? Or
Yes.
Oh, okay, you
Yes.
are. Okay, I've
Otherwise,
just
it's
been
the bacteria
curious.
bat.
Right, I've just been curious. I mean, I'm not judging. You know, it helps with your immune
Sure.
system. I was just curious.
Yeah.
No, I definitely rinsed this thing out. I think someone tweeted and asked me that the other day, and I told them, yes, we washed the beer bat out. We have some integrity, and we care about our health.
Good gut health starts with a little bacteria down there.
But this pour stuck. You see this pour?
That's impressive.
That's a good pour.
That's a quarter of an inch
That only
of
means
foam on top there.
That only means that good vibes are coming in Miami this week.
Oh, Lance loves some 312. Jay Hazen
yeah.
says chug, chug, chug. Here we go, Cody.
You ready?
Yesterday was 24 seconds. Are you ready for the beer chug? 14th of the season
The record is 19.6
from the Goose Island
seconds.
Beer Bat.
Let's try and beat that. Here we go.
Go. He's off. He's off to a good start. No sweat. No sweat. Halfway through the beer bat, he's down through the heart of the barrel of the bat. The barrel of the bat's gone. He's down to the handle. He's down to the handle. Round the final stretch he comes. Here they come and done. 17.6 seconds. Cody Del Mendo.
I'm crying over here.
Wow. Chug. Vanilla Chill says chug. Does
Woo!
that feel good?
It feels good.
What a way to start draft day, huh?
Yeah.
Ryan Poles Day, as
this
they
is a
say.
sign that the Bears are going to not fuck this up tonight. So,
Vibe with
let's
us. Hashtag vibe with us, Cody. There it is.
Vanilla Chill. Hashtag vibe with us, Cody. Hell yeah, baby.
No, he had 22 Daniel says 22. I got it right here. 17.6.
Nice.
17 point. This is the official chug clocker. Right there.
Oh, man.
How you feeling after that?
You know, just
A little gassy?
a little gassy.
Little
yeah.
ga-
I think someone said in the chat the other night, it's like, it's so impressive that Cody doesn't just like burp up a storm after all of it.
Well, I mean, the thing that's impressive is we're only 14 wins into the season, and you started out at like 2 minutes on your first one.
Because I historically really suck at chugging, but now I'm
you've
forcing
gotta-
myself to get good at it.
Yeah, you're at home trying. Even on losses, you're trying sometimes, I think. Cody Del Chugo says Thunder Dan.
Again, we're doing whatever we can to manifest wins. And if that means I have to chug a beer after every W, I will do it.
Jay Hazen says Cody a dog for that.
Hell yeah, I love that.
Doug Van Dorn, one of the regulars, from your mouth to God's ear, Cody.
Hell yeah.
We all win today, but the Sox, oof, that's another one. That's from Vanilla Chill. That's not from me. I'm not taking any cheap shots, at least until later in the show. Cubs win. Wesneski was better. I did think that the first inning was important. We talked about in the pregame show, you said, get him a lead, get him a lead.
Yep.
But we also said, get through that first inning, right? Like, get something under your belt that you feel good about. And he gets the 4-6-3 double play to get out of the inning. Got a little swagger walking off the mound. You did get a couple of, who was it that he strike out? Was it Tatis that he gave the big reaction to when he struck somebody out?
Yeah, like it was
end the inning?
It was in the early innings.
Yeah.
He finished with 3 strikeouts, which actually surprised me because I thought he had more.
It felt like it.
He had 3 strikeouts.
The sweeper was sweeping for a little bit
Sweeper
there.
was sweeping. He struck out Tatis. He struck out Bogarts twice, I believe. I know he struck out Bogarts at least once. Yeah, it was the one time Bogarts struck out in his last at bat, I believe.
No, this is a good question in the chat. Aaron wants to know, should we start hashtag chug the W?
Ooh. Perhaps.
Daniel says
Daniel
you're
says,
a dog.
Cody's a straight dog. All right. Just got
Yes,
my
it was
shady
Tatis.
rays in
Thank
the
you,
mail.
Craig. Craig
Nice,
agrees
nice.
with me because factually I was correct that time.
Yeah.
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story, but this
Absolutely.
time they were the story. Machado had the solo home run off from in the second inning.
The Bogarts strikeout was the one that I think I liked the most, and it was with that slider. Started in the middle of the plate, and by the time Bogarts swung through it, that ball was way outside. And that's what we saw a lot of last year at the end of the year. When he has that slider going, when he's able to locate it the way he wants, watch out.
Yeah.
And that was probably my favorite strikeout of the day from him.
Did the home run scare you at all? That was the home run at that time was his 5th in less than 19 innings this season. Not me. I mean, the first couple were at Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Everybody hits home runs in Cincinnati.
I'm not scared just because I know he's going through the ups and downs of being a rookie pitcher right now. I'm optimistic that by the mid-season, maybe August, September, somewhere in the last 2 months of the year, if we see a little bit more of consistency from him, I think that's when I can feel like that's what the kind of Hayden Wesneski we're going to get on a consistent basis after this year. This year, to me, is all about growth for him. Obviously, I want him to only get better and better as the months go on. But again, you just don't know with these pitchers. I mean, before the start, we were like, man, like we might need Kyle Hendricks back sooner than we really thought. And today, he went out there, and again, it wasn't insanely impressive. It was just a good start for your fifth starter.
It was a building block. It was definitely better. I like taking him out in the 5th. I know he could have gone out for the 6th, but I like the positive taste in his mouth going into the next start. Fernando with a couple super chats. Can I get a receipt for my W prediction? Chug. And then Fernando had another one, I think. Oh, no, it was Foreign Empire. $2 from Foreign Empire. Cody is a dog. Happy Bartman series coming up against the Marlins. What a low rent.
Yeah, well,
situation
I
that's
have
going to be
some
in
thoughts
Miami.
on the Marlins series, and we'll get to that.
Like anybody in Miami cares about the Marlins. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
South Beach and being seen.
Also, the Heat are playing. They're going to play in the next round. No one in Miami is going to be
Jimmy
watching
Butler's
them.
all that matters in Miami right now.
Yeah.
By the way, what a shocking upset that was. Jimmy Buckets. Yes, P. Will supporter. We will talk about him, Kyle Hendricks, but the fact that he gave up a bunch of runs in Iowa does not mean he's done today, okay?
Yeah. You tell him, Luke.
Everybody simmer down.
You tell him.
It was the point of the outing was to go out and not feel sore, not feel pain. Like, go out and feel good after you've thrown. That's the most he's thrown.
Yeah.
So, in a year. Hadn't pitched in a year. So we'll get to it in a little bit. Nico Horner, your guy, 22 straight games. We were talking to some of our bosses who were heading out to the Big Joe's on Weed Party, which we're hoping to get there. Starts at 5 o'clock. You can still get your tickets, allchgo.com. If you're a diehard, you get 20% off. If you're not a diehard, sign up, get 20% off and a free shirt and the card and all the cool stuff that comes with being a diehard. Perfect day for that. But we were saying on the way out, like, how excited are you about this team being 14-10? It's a nice start. It's exactly what we were looking for, right? Like, it was a good start. Are they in first place? No, the Pirates are off to a hot start. The Brewers are off to a good start. But this is a better baseball team. Right now, they're an above 500 baseball team, which I like to see because I think that puts you in the mix for a playoff spot before it's all said and done if you're above 500. But there are individual players you're starting to get excited about. When Nico Horner comes up, I don't walk away from the TV. I just don't.
You did walk away from the TV before Swanson hit his homer.
I did miss the Dansby Swanson home run, but
yeah,
I came back and saw the replay.
They were up 4-1 at the time. I get it.
That's right.
You're right, though. Nico Horner is becoming must-see television.
And I got to tell you, there's a lot of jerseys you could go out and buy now. Like, a year ago, we said, what jersey would you go out and buy if you were going out to buy a Cubs jersey? And it was like, you're going to buy a Hap jersey? At that time, we didn't think he was re-signing. We're like, you're not going to buy a Hap jersey. You're going to buy a Contreras jersey? You're not going to keep Contreras. You're going to buy a Contreras jersey. What jersey are you confident enough in? And even the beginning of last season was like, you're going to buy a Nico jersey? I like him, but can you believe it yet?
Yeah.
And now I believe it. I believe it. Jack R says Nico Horner, MVP candidate.
He's on pace for like 7 WAR, I'm pretty sure. I think Brendan tweeted
Yeah, I mean,
yesterday.
it's tough to win an MVP unless you're hitting probably 30 bombs. But I'm not worried about an MVP player. I'm talking about a guy where I go up there and I know the other team's worried about him coming to the dish. I know when they come into town, they're like, well, this is a good team. They've got Nico Horner and Dansby Swanson and Bellinger soon. I don't know exactly which guys. They've got Justin Steele and Keegan Thompson. You're starting to see pieces add up. Seiya hasn't proven a full season yet. Nico, Hap, like we get some good ball players on the north side of Chicago this year.
Yeah.
And it's starting to show up in results.
Yeah, I mean, you look up and down this lineup today. Like I said in the pregame, I felt like yesterday we got a lot of contributions from the bottom of the order, or 2 days ago when they won. They got a lot of contributions from the bottom of the order, but nothing from the top. Yesterday it was just not much of anything from anyone. And then today you're getting it all across the board. Velasquez, 1 for 3, but that one hit was a homer. Hosmer, I will not slander him today. He hit a homer.
Hap, all-star.
Suzuki had
Warner,
a double
all-star.
today. Ian Happ, RBI single that, at the time was a big hit that extended the lead. And then Swanson, not only the homer, but also a hit that led to the Ian Happ RBI single. And Nico Horner, like we can't say enough good things about him. When you get these kind of contributions from up and down the lineup, good things are going to happen. You're probably going to be on track to win a baseball game. So it's, for me, in this game specifically, good to see the top of the lineup get it going again, because the last few games they haven't been outside of Horner, they hadn't been very good. But yeah, I mean, as far as the jersey thing, last year maybe Seiya Suzuki, maybe.
Yeah, because of high expectations coming in, but not because of proven Major League Baseball talent yet.
Right. But as far as like proven Major League Baseball talent, no, they didn't really have anyone.
Now a Swanson or a Horner or a Steele just makes
those are the three
total sense.
Those are the three I would say that make the most sense. Maybe Stroman.
Sean's going out and buying a Gomes All-Star jersey.
Hell yeah, I like that.
Another super chat, by the way, $5 from Foreign Empire, who's just throwing the money around right now, making it rain. I got myself a Morel after his first game. Does Nelly stay up after that homer today? I sure hope so.
I sure hope so too, man.
What else can the guy do? Grand slam, home run.
Almost had 2.
Great walk last night.
Almost 2 homers today.
Yeah, I mean,
almost 2.
I agree with Rhonda. I like to say, if you say you agree with me, I'll read it. But I agree with Rhonda. Velasquez needs to stay up right now. Yeah. Fernando, the super chat. Cubs can win without Mervis. I'm just saying.
Well, if Eric Hosmer gives
could win with him too, but we'll see.
If they give the Cubs, if Eric Hosmer gives them at bats like he did today, yeah. But also at the same time, they can't always play Hosmer at DH. When Bellinger is back, I hope to see Velasquez playing DH. How can you not put that guy in the DH role whenever Bellinger comes back? I honestly wouldn't understand it. Outside of maybe matchup base. But the way that Velasquez is hitting, how can you not put him in the lineup? You absolutely, that would be, I look forward to being pissed off about that, because I don't know how the Cubs are going to do this, and it scares me, because it's all about, can you give him everyday at-bats? Well, with this roster right now, when Bellinger comes back, how can you not keep Nelson Velasquez on this roster, and how can you not play him every day? You can put him right there in the DH spot, man.
And our teammate Jared Willis has an article at allchgo.com talking specifically about Mervis, by the way, who did hit a monster bomb today for Iowa. But his article basically says with Mancini heating up, it didn't happen today for Mancini, unfortunately for me, for who he got. But Mancini has looked better other than today. And if he's playing well, then there isn't a rush, according to Jared, the way the Cubs are looking at it. So I am more interested to see what happens with Velasquez when Bellinger comes back, whenever that might be. If he joins the team in Miami, or when it might be. Velasquez has shown you something that I don't know why you'd send him down right now.
Yeah.
Now I know that could be tricky, but I'd find a way to keep him. And yes, Vanilla Chill, we'll talk about Christopher Morel a little bit more in a second. Yeah, Cody.
Someone in there said, Craig. He said Hosmer only had 1 good at bat today.
Craig.
Listen, as someone who's a man of integrity
One's
and gives
better
credit
than none.
where credit is due, yes, he had the homer, but also his second at bat I thought was pretty good. The Padres were aligned defensively that it should have been a hit. He hit it over 100 miles per hour and had like a 560 expected batting average. So he had 2 good at bats today, in my opinion. I'm not asking for every at bat to be good. I'm just asking for productive at bats. If you're going to force us to have to watch them, Cubs, that's all I'm asking is productive at bats. Do I still want Mervis over him? Yes, but I'm just giving credit where credit is due. But as far as Velasquez, yes, I just don't know how you can't play this guy every single day moving forward. I assume Bellinger will be back tomorrow, and if not, then I would expect Velasquez to be in the lineup in center.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Torrens and Rios question marks throughout the chat today. If they're not going to use Rios, give the spot to Nelly, says Mark.
Marcus also says he agrees with me. But yeah, I mean, the
Barbara
Rios thing, I said it a lot yesterday, against right-handed pitching, they haven't really been given the opportunities. They've been given all those opportunities to Hosmer, and I just don't understand that either if you're not going to call up a guy like Mervis. But again, I don't want to repeat myself over and over. It's just that's how I feel. But again, today, you love to see the guys be able to play long ball considering the conditions. And at the same time, they were able to manufacture runs too. Did a little bit of everything today. And you like seeing that because from the golden era, everything was always about boom or bust, it felt like, especially after 2017. And, this brand of baseball the Cubs are playing so far this year, being 14-10, you're getting a little bit of everything. Everyone was kind of scared. Oh, is this team got enough power? First 10, 15 games of the year, Cubs didn't have a lot of home runs, but you're starting to see the power arrive here as the month of April ends. Wisdom, 9 homers. Horner's got 2 homers. Dansby hit his first one today. Hosmer, obviously. Velasquez now has 2 homers as a Cub, or this year at least. And, Mancini hit 1 yesterday. So, obviously, if there's anyone that you'd like to see a little bit more power out of, maybe Seiya Suzuki hit that first home run in his first game back coming off the IL. Hasn't done much of that since at all. Did hit a double today, so that was encouraging. And, Ian Happ, he's just a professional hitter. I'd like to see him hit 30 bombs, but at the same time, if it means that he's going to give you better at-bats by dialing it back on the power, then I can live with that too. So I don't know how many homers this team is going to hit, but I think you're getting a good dose of both right now.
They're questioning how we feel about Killian pitching tomorrow. Trevor's saying it's not Killian tomorrow. I believe it's Stroman tomorrow.
Yes.
Steele will pitch, and then Killian will pitch in between.
I was
right?
going to say, Killian's supposed
Sounds
to.
like they're going to go.
It probably will be. It's
but
not
it is
announced.
certainly. We know that it's Stroman tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not announced that it will be Killian on Saturday, but we can all basically assume. But it will be Stroman, probably Killian, and then Steele on Sunday. So I like the Cubs' chances with 2 of those 3. But I am excited to see Killian on Saturday.
I am too.
Yeah.
You know what else we love to see? Pins and Aces gear around the office. A lot of Pins and Aces gear.
I wore
starting
Pins
to show
and
up.
Aces hat the other night.
You sure did. Pins and Aces is the official golf apparel partner of ALLCITY and CHGO. Love our Pins and Aces gear. We get compliments walking down the street, on and off the golf course. They are a family-owned golf and apparel business, making amazing polos, hats, golf bags, even our favorite beer sleeve. That's an innovative product that allows you to store not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, 7 ice-cold beers right inside your golf bag. Keeps them ice cold the entire round. Check out pinsandaces.com. Use the code CHGO when you sign up with them and receive 15% off your first order. Get free shipping. That's pinsandaces.com. Use the code CHGO at checkout. 15% off your first order and also free shipping. Fubo TV is a great thing to have. I've got it on my phone, and tonight's a perfect night for having it. Why? NFL Draft.
Yep.
You could be at the draft party. You can watch games that are going on. You can keep an eye on NBA and NHL playoff games, or you can be watching the NBA and NHL playoff games when the Bears aren't picking and keep an eye on the draft. Watch that. Today you could have gone outside with your phone or your tablet if you want to stream it that way, and you could watch the Cubs out in the sunshine today at the park. A lot more times in the summer where you're going to want to be mobile with that. Now, you can always stream it right on your television, your smart TV at home, but
it's nice to be able to
having it.
Take it mobily, right?
Yeah, take it with you where you want to go, whether that's the park, the playground, the lucky people out on a boat somewhere, the real fortunate ones.
Yeah.
La-ti-da.
Number 1 rule is to have a friend with a boat in the city.
That really, the best thing is not to have a boat, it's to have a friend with a boat.
Yeah.
Fubo TV, 140-plus live channels of sports, shows, movies, and news. Stream live TV from any device. Watch the most Chicago sports for the lowest price. Start watching immediately with a 7-day free trial. You heard me right, 7 days free trial. No contract, no cable, no hassle. Sign up and start watching. 1,000 hours of cloud DVR included at no extra charge. You can watch your local teams while traveling. We've got the NFL Draft on ESPN and NFL Network coming up the next few days, starting tonight. Don't forget the draft party. Joe's on Weed Street. The NHL, NBA playoffs, the Bucks are done. Boy, tough time to be in Wisconsin. Hope you're a Brewers fan because the Bucks are gone. Aaron Rodgers is gone.
I hope you're not a Brewers fan, though.
Well, we hope you're not, but, you know.
Or
Amanda
if you're a Brewers fan
vote.
listening, hi.
Watch the Cubs on Marquee with Fubo TV. Use the link in description to sign up for 15% off your first month of Fubo Pro.
P. Will supporter asked me what my reaction will be if Nelson Velasquez is not on the roster tomorrow, as in if he gets optioned back to Iowa. Again, like, I'll just be very frustrated because to me it's like it would feel like the Cubs aren't taking advantage of a player who's playing well for them right now. That's my opinion. At the same time, I understand they're good in the outfield. Like, you got Happ, you got Suzuki, and if Bellinger, he's only going to get sent back if Bellinger is back tomorrow.
Right.
And they decide that they don't want to use him as a DH on a regular basis, or at least a couple times a week. I understand they want him to get everyday playing time. At the same time, like, you know, okay, Hosmer hit a home run today, but what has he been doing on a consistent basis? Not much. You're not giving Edwin Rios the opportunity. I don't know why, but you're not doing it. And then Luis Torrens, he hasn't done much of anything either. It just generally would not make any sense to me to send Velasquez back to Iowa. It really wouldn't. So I
really hope they decide to keep him up for right now.
Yeah.
I don't know how that trickle effect goes down for the roster and what that ends up meaning for somebody else, but I would like to see Velasquez stay up. At the very least, he's shown you should not be afraid to bring him up at any point this season. Right? He's shown you that he can hit at the major league level. Yeah. We have a new listener that wants to know if we've ever thought about doing live calls. Well, we love the chat, but maybe calls would be something we sprinkle in. But thanks for joining and checking it out. We appreciate it. Hashtag vibe with us, as we like to say. And you should know that if you ever agree with me on something, point it out in the chat, and I will read it.
We could do like a voicemail line. We create a number.
That
and
might get ugly. That could most likely it's going to get ugly. I saw Collada's pulling for the Rangers in the NHL. I wonder if that's Kaner related or what's that about?
I would assume that's Patrick Kane related. Edward says something. He said something about my parlay. Thanks for the parlay. Couldn't bring myself to pick Cronenworth.
Yeah, how about this?
So he chose Hosmer. Hey,
bigger payout, win-win, winner, chicken dinner.
Big of you, man. Yeah, another loss because of the last leg.
Very nicely done.
Taxes, it's the same thing.
Anyway. You will supporters, they probably have to DFA Rios. Well, we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Cody, I'm with you 100%. Nelson needs to stay up until he shows he can't keep up, which might not happen. Cubs don't need to carry 3 catchers.
Yeah.
That would be my move there, but anyway. Kyle Hendricks.
The team needs him right now.
I saw P. Will saying he's done. Give the guy a break. Give the guy. I'm just saying, give the guy. Maybe he is done. I don't know. Give the guy a break. 1 2/3 innings,
anyway.
6 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. The report from Iowa was that he was throwing his hardest was 89. Mm-hmm. Again, this was about trying to throw 50 pitches and feel better and be a pitcher again. Like it had been 10 months since he'd been pitching in a game. And of course he wasn't right the months prior to that either. So it's been a long time since he felt healthy throwing in a game and throwing after a game. So that's what I'm really looking for in this outing. I don't know if that's what the Cubs were only looking for, but Tommy Birch from the Des Moines Register tweeted out a link to an interview with Hendricks with the media after the game. This is Kyle Hendricks after his start in Iowa today, his first in 10 months.
Today, I guess I felt healthy, so that was the accomplishment. Other than that, it was just good to be back out there, I guess. Back out in a real game, feel the real feel of it, the flow of the game, the speed of the game, all that. So I got some work to do, some things to iron out with the pitch clock, just working pitch to pitch better. But overall, felt really healthy, used some fastballs. I made a lot of good pitches overall, just a couple that left over the heart of the plate. Today, I guess I felt healthy, so that was the accomplishment. Other than that, it was just good to be back out there, I guess. Back out in a real game, feel the real feel of it, the flow of the game, the speed of the game, all that. So I got some work to do, some things to iron out with the
He ran once. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's right.
We had some audio issues there. Anyway, he basically said it himself, right? Just happy to be back out there. And what can you take away? Like, okay, he struck out a couple people. Cool. Like,
I think it means he's going to be there a little bit longer. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if he would have come out and dominated, then people would be like, whoa, maybe he doesn't need that long there.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a little bit longer still.
just think-
People are saying mid-May. That still seems like a reasonable couple
Yeah.
more weeks, couple
Yeah.
more outings, see how they go.
I just think that his experience is a huge impact for this roster, especially guys like Hayden Wesneski. P. Will Sporter, you're in the chat, and you're like, I don't want Hendricks to take Wesneski's spot. Well, okay, right now Wesneski saved himself for a couple more starts because before this start, outside of the A start, which was basically against a minor league team, what could you say that there was good about him? Yeah, I know you got to get some seasoning in him and you got to let him go through the ups and downs, but how far do you let him go before his confidence is completely broken and you just have to eventually send him down? But again, Wesneski saved himself today, or at least it was a building block, like Luke said, and that's great. That's awesome. I don't want to see Wesneski go back to Iowa, but I do think that Kyle Hendricks brings something to this roster in terms of experience and impact as a veteran pitcher who has had success, who has pitched in big games for this franchise. There's a reason that you should have some belief in the guy. The guy, I understand he wasn't very good last year, but at the same time,
He was hurt.
and then also last year was probably his worst season of his career.
And you were thinking he was a 1 or a 2 going into the season.
Yeah.
Right? And he was hurt and not pitching well. And so is there a possibility, as we sit here today, that Kyle Hendricks will never be that guy again? Yep. Yeah. We know he's not the guy that almost won the Cy Young, right? Like, we know he's not that guy anymore. He's near the backside of his career. But he still provides you depth if you can get something out of him.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're looking at, depth through the rotation. We're not saying he's the future over Wesneski. At least I'm not saying that.
No.
But
No one's saying
I
that.
think there's potentially something still there. Now, Killian might come up and have a great start, and then you look at it and say, wow, there's more depth there. That's another piece of depth we have. Sampson might get it right, and maybe Sampson will give you some of that depth. Maybe another one of those young pitchers will start to come up. And yes, as the picture starts to fade, in the long term, Kyle Hendricks will not be part of the eventual Cubs rotation. I'm just not ready to go there yet
Yeah.
because we don't know if he's healthy. I'll tell you, in the clubhouse yesterday, there's an empty locker. His number's still hanging there, so every player can still see it. Mm-hmm. There's massive respect, especially the young players in there, because he's so willing to share.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I said,
share his experience, share his knowledge.
I think that the experience that he has will impact a lot of these young pitchers, like a Hayden Wesneski, like a Caleb Killian, like some of these guys out in the bullpen, like Keegan Thompson and even Justin Steele. There's value in a guy like him. And anyway,
Colton agrees with me.
It's the last year of his deal. He's probably not going to be here next year.
And the point is,
he's not.
If he's
blocking
here,
anyone.
he's going to be your 5th starter, or
Probably.
6th starter if they go to a 6.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, don't worry about him not being the old Kyle Hendricks if he gets back and he gets to the major league level. Be happy that Kyle Hendricks is still able to pitch, still might be able to give the Cubs something that they desperately need: nice depth in the rotation, veteran presence, leadership, all those good things. And think of it this way: he's not your 1 or 2 like he was last year. He's in a completely different role.
Yeah.
It's like looking at guys like Wade Miley last year and saying, wow, that was a total bust because, well, if he was your number 1, it would have been a total bust. It was more of a flyer season. Kyle Hendricks is a bonus this season.
Yeah.
And I think most Cubs fans, I would hope that all Cubs fans appreciate what he's done for the organization. So that's why I'm not ready to shove him out the door, especially if he still has something left in the tank. We don't know if he does yet.
Yeah.
So let's wait.
Andrew says he agrees with
Andrew
you.
agrees with me. Thank you.
Other things from that game, the Iowa Cubs game, obviously Christopher Morel, 2 homers. Matt Mervis hits another homer. Matt Mervis literally golfed one out. Christopher Morel's first homer, he golfed one out, I believe. And then his second one was an Oppo Taco. Those guys continue to mash and continue to put the pressure on the Cubs, and that's all you can ask for from those guys. Yeah.
I mean, he's got 10. It's funny. Everybody's talking about Mervis and the power. Going to have the power. And then every once in a while in the chat, you see the Mervis fans in there saying all that stuff. And then you'll see the Morel fans come back. We need Morel. Morel's got 10 homers to lead the league right now. Mervis has 6. Both guys will get a shot at the major league level this season. Both will be back before it's all over.
I did say, before opening day, I was like, I think Morel could be here sooner than the rest of them. And here we are almost at the end of April, and he's still not here. But there's no one to complain about on the infield. I mean, I'm not going to complain about Nick Madrigal because of his play today, but he's the only one. If he would take Madrigal's spot on the roster, but the Cubs aren't going to do that. So yeah, I don't know. I guess that's the good thing, the good problem to have when you're 14-10 and you're playing well, So,
and as Colton points out, Chicago, the only organization with winning records at every level. Chicago in a great position right now. Hashtag vibes all around.
Ooh.
Hashtag vibes with us.
Hashtag vibes
all
around.
Rhonda, hashtag Luke.
I
don't even what that
so,
means. Agree with me?
Again,
thank you.
You love to see what they're doing in Iowa. I know they're doing great things at Tennessee too. Like he said, every level is playing well. So I don't know. Everyone knows my stance, but again, it's just good to see those guys producing, because if they somehow randomly decided or randomly didn't for a couple week stretch, then you'd be a little worried. So it's good to see no one is figuring them out down there.
It is good. You know what else was impressive? I saw that Nick Birdie got the save today for Iowa, and according to the tweets, I think it might have been Alex Cohen, 6 fastballs over 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, when we talked to Alex,
keep looking for a closer. That's another guy you could throw into that.
We were talking to Alex on Monday about relievers, and he mentioned Nick Birdie. He just didn't pitch the last 2 years, so he's got to
right. Well, he's had all kinds of injury problems. Yeah. Once a very highly thought of prospect.
I'm intrigued to see how many innings the Cubs want him to get down there in Iowa before actually giving him a shot. Because if you're throwing, you got 6 pitches over 100 miles per hour, sounds like someone who belongs at the major league level at some point. So
Cam Sanders up there throwing 100 too.
Yeah, got a lot of heat.
But 6 of them over 100, and I like to see that. So yes, again, the best case scenario for this Cubs team is keep playing the way they are. Mm-hmm. The veterans that you've brought in that are on shorter-term deals or short-term deals play well enough that, yes, they are forced out, some of them, by the young guys who are pushing to get to the major league level, and you get high value out of those guys if you're forced to move them or feel like it's beneficial to move them because they're at that point blocking somebody. Mm-hmm. We're still in April. Nobody's blocking anybody.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
I totally respect if you don't feel that way, but right now it's still April. We're still not a month into the season.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of opportunity for guys to be shoved aside or traded or moved and get their shot. And listen, we've already seen Nelson Velasquez come up, and so far he's made the most of his opportunities, right?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say Nelson Velasquez was like a top 5. Not that people aren't excited about him, but he's not a top 3 prospect in the organization where people are clamoring for Nelson Velasquez. I like him. He shows power. He can play outfield. He's got some versatility. To me, he deserves to be on the major league roster. Now, at some point, Morel will deserve to be on the major league roster again, too. Get him right. Love Christopher Morel. And hopefully Matt Mervis is up, too. Caleb Killian got a shot. Last year it didn't work out, but that doesn't mean it's not going to work out. Go back and look at Steele's progress and path to the major leagues.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he's leading the National League in ERA. Don't give up on somebody because they're 25 and haven't totally figured it out yet. Remember, we also had a season where the minor leaguers didn't even play.
Right.
So that impacts when you're looking. I know that doesn't change their age, but it does change their development. All of them.
Trevor says, I agree, Luke, but these games count, and those few guys can put this team over the top the remainder of the season. Maybe. But I also hear what he's saying, and it's kind of like basically how I feel, because I think
Cody leans more towards bring the guys up, shove the guys out.
I'm not
against that. I'm just saying maybe we wait 2 or 3 more weeks.
Fair.
They're 14 and 10.
I'm not saying to call all those guys up. I think Mervis is the one that makes the most sense. Again, not complaining about Hosmer today. He hit a homer. But he's the one who makes the most sense to me right now. I like your talk about the bullpen, though, because we haven't talked about Michael Fulmer, who had a good outing today.
He was better, and just in a different role. So,
right.
Again, I don't need to see, if I'm the Cubs or a Cubs fan in the chat, I don't need to see Fulmer working, and I believe Jed Hoyer basically said this, I don't need to see him working in high leverage right now. But David Ross told him, I'm not going to stop pitching you right now. We're going to put you in lower leverage situations, work on the things that you have identified yourself along with the coaches and the analytics and all of it, and hopefully you're able to get it right. Now, again, Fulmer for me is a guy that I can look at and say, great. And if they do figure it out, maybe Birdie, maybe Cam Sanders, maybe Estrada, maybe Cody Hoyer when he gets healthy, maybe those guys force the situation and you're able to move Fulmer.
Yeah.
So even if he is the closer, which they don't really have an anointed closer, even if he is a guy that gets it done for you, he still might be a guy that you move at the trade deadline.
Yeah. As far as the bullpen today, I am okay. Jeremiah Estrada's on the roster. He's here.
Yeah.
And they used him one time, and it was in the Drew Smiley blowout game. The 13-0 win. They used him then. And I'm like, are you guys gonna give him a shot in a game that in innings that matter? I felt like today was a good shot, a good chance. I think yesterday would have been a good chance. Good reason to use him. If he's here, use him. You want me to complain about something about today? I'll complain about that.
That said, I mean, you can't complain about what the bullpen did today, right?
No, I'm not complaining about the bullpen.
Are there guys that we hope will push the bullpen and make them even better or even stronger and even younger by the end of the season? Yes, but Fulmer came in 1 inning, 2 strikeouts, no runs, 1 walk.
Yeah.
Mark Leiter, 2/3 of an inning, no runs, 1 walk. Keegan Thompson, inning and a third, 1 inning. Could Keegan have gone just 1 inning? Maybe, but I never feel bad about Keegan Thompson going to 2nd inning. Boxberger gets the save, 1 inning, no earned run. So, while I get people are angry about the way, or frustrated with the way Fulmer has pitched.
I'm not complaining about Fulmer.
Oh, I'm not saying you at all.
Oh.
I'm in the chat. There's still people like, Fulmer's got to go. Specifically today, he was not a problem.
No.
So let him work on things. I'm not saying if he costs the team 5 more games, he's not going to be around to work on those things.
Right. This is what my point is. All right. Keegan Thompson wasn't that great today and still managed to give you an inning in the third.
That's right.
All right. That's how good
Keegan Thompson is. If you don't believe in the mayor, you're wrong.
Agreed.
I believe in the mayor. I voted for him.
But specifically in that 8th inning, he was going through it. If you can just go back on Baseball Savant and look at the exit velocities on a lot of those batted balls.
But I am okay with that. I am okay with leaving. I know every win counts this season, but I'm also okay with making sure these guys go through some moments, not at the risk of losing the game, but in their development, in their process, in their ability to become extra reliable when the games really count. Do these games count? Yes, but they're not postseason games.
Yeah.
So I want guys to work through some struggle when they don't have their best stuff to work through it, if it doesn't cost a game.
I guess my point is that you had a fresh Jeremiah Estrada. You used Keegan on Monday or on Tuesday. It's been 2 days, and you've been using him in multi-inning reasons. And I'm not complaining that you use Keegan. I'm complaining that you're not using a fresh Jeremiah Estrada.
Right. I hear you.
That's even Leiter, they've used him this week. All these guys except for Fulmer, they've used this week, but you haven't used Jeremiah Estrada at all. And so I don't know if that's on the front office for telling Ross how to use Estrada right now or what, or maybe Ross just doesn't have he's not in the circle of trust, which you're not going to get in the circle of trust if you're not going to use the guy. Again, I am not complaining about the bullpen. They won 5-2, but I am thinking about guys getting overused. All right? That's where I'm at. So use Jeremiah Estrada. If he's going to be here, use him. Thank you.
Right. Josh says Keegan Thompson was the closer today. Tatis, Bogarts, Machado were his first three hitters in a really high leverage spot. I like that Ross pitches his best guy in his biggest spot, regardless of the inning. P. Will supporter agrees with me. Somebody else earlier said, we have Manuel Rios with a super chat agreeing with both y'all, but Luke is right.
Thank you, man.
Thank you,
Manuel.
and for doubling down with $2 on that, Manuel. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Again, I'm not complaining about how they used it. I'm just saying you have a fresh Jeremiah Estrada who hasn't been bad in the inning and a half that they used him. I mean, why not give him they had a lead today too, yet they led 5-1. Thompson gave up the other run.
Yeah.
Thompson was probably this was probably the worst I've seen Thompson all season.
But he was good for that first inning against the three guys he had to get out.
Well,
okay, those are big bats. Like, I don't care how you get them out. Get them out.
Right. Again,
I know what you're saying. His stuff maybe wasn't his best.
Yeah.
But.
So again, I'm glad they got the win. I'm happy with how they used the bullpen in terms of the guys in the situations. I'd rather see Thompson in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning. Same with Boxberger. Leiter was probably the one that you were a little scared about because he walked a guy in a big spot. Thompson comes in, gets the ground ball that Madrigal had made such a great play on to get out of the inning on Tatis. And Fulmer was great. No complaints.
Marcus might be onto something in the chat there, by the way.
Let's get Fulmer right and then trade them for prospects. All right. Thank you.
I mean, if the young guys continue to push to get their chances and then thrive in those roles when they each individually start to come up. I'll tell you what's really been great. I saw those ComEd energy efficiency lights above Wrigley Field yesterday. And I thought, wow, what a beautiful sight that is. And they're cutting their costs.
Is it because of the ComEd energy efficiency program, Luke?
You bet it is.
Oh, man. Okay. I was told the ComEd efficiency program is committed to helping families and businesses in the communities they serve, helping manage energy usage and lower energy bills now and into the future. Is that correct, Luke?
Sure is. ComEd offers a wide variety of incentives and lighting on other efficiency upgrades to commercial, industrial, public sector customers of all sizes across the territory. ComEd also offers free facility assessments that can help find energy-saving opportunities like HVAC systems, commercial kitchen equipment, or industrial processes.
How does it work, Luke?
Here's how it works, Cody. An authorized engineer will work with you to develop a detailed assessment plan specific to your goals and your needs. They can be done in person or virtually. Those last about 2 hours, and then in about 3 to 4 weeks after that, that's when you get the plan of action. Customers receive a report detailing energy efficiency projects they can start working on right away. Each recommendation includes estimated energy savings, project costs, potential incentives, and simple payback. If you own a business and you haven't done this yet, don't sleep. Get it done right now. Don't wait. Get started saving money and energy today. For energy-saving tips, lighting incentives, or to schedule your free facility assessment, go to ComEd.com/poweringbiz.
ComEd.com/poweringbiz.
That's right, and schedule it today. Today, speaking of today, beautiful sunny day here in Chicago if you're one of our international supporters here on the CHGO podcast, because we know we are international and worldwide.
Sources confirmed recently.
Beautiful day if you weren't able to see the game. Cubs win. They beat the Padres and take the series 2 out of 3. And a nice sunny day at Wrigley Field. Take on the sun this year with gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered for the warm weather ahead with premium polarized shades at an affordable price. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product just as good as any expensive pair we've ever worn. Durable frames, extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures, and that's not all. Shady Rays offers this insane protection program, the best in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses backed by lost and broken replacements. If you lose or break your pair, Even on day one, they told us they'll send you a brand new pair of sunglasses, no questions asked. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after you purchase them. Together with their customers, Shady Rays is providing much-needed support as well to nonprofit partners across the U.S. through Shady Rays Impact. From building play sets for pediatric cancer patients to providing young adults with MS the outdoor adventure of a lifetime, Shady Rays is making an impact in your community and others like it now for years to come. Now, if you don't love your Shady Rays for some reason, you will. But if you don't, exchange it for a new pair or return them for a free pair, or for free, rather, within 30 days. No risk when you shop. Their team always has your back. And exclusive for our CHGO listeners, Shady Rays giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com. Use the code CHGO for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people.
Sander, I think that's how you say it in the chat. I think they're saying they're from Amsterdam because you mentioned that we're international.
There we go. International.
Amsterdam.
London, Australia, Ireland. Been everywhere.
Either we're just international or Cubs fans are just worldwide. We'll just take both, actually. So
anyway,
I love how the chat is talking about Carlos Marmol too, which is hilarious to me.
Or as Pat Hughes would always say, Marmol. Carlos Marmol. What do we have here? 5-2 win over the Padres. Cubs now head to Miami.
Ryan Herrera did say in our Slack a few seconds ago that he will be here in 2 minutes.
Ryan Herrera will be joining us from beautiful and historic Wrigley Field. We are approaching the 5 o'clock hour. We're 8 minutes away from the start of the big party over at Joe's on Weed Street. Never too late to get there. Never too late to get those tickets, by the way.
It's always good to show up fashionably late.
Colada from Joliet. See, international. We're everywhere. Even Joliet.
Joliet might as well be another country. Shall we preview tomorrow while we wait?
Should we do who you got? Or you want to do the preview?
Let's do the preview.
All right, let's do the preview.
When Ryan shows up.
Listen, anytime you got Stroman and Steele and Killian, it's exciting, interesting, exciting.
Yes.
Right? Like Killian, interested to see what we've got. You know, the chat always wants to see the new young guys. You're going to probably get to see Caleb Killian this weekend. And anytime you get Stroman and Steele, I feel good about the series, even though there are some good players on the Marlins.
Yeah, I mean, the Cubs haven't won multiple games in a row since last week. So, I'm hoping they start this series off. And you know how I talk about all the time about winning the first game of a series and how it kind of lets off some of that pressure to go out and perform the next couple of days. So, big series opener tomorrow. You got your number one on the mound, and Luzardo for the Marlins has been pretty good too. So, should be, if you like pitching, this series should be pretty good because obviously Stroman and Steele, but the Marlins, they're built on pitching too. So
I see that we have almost 200 people still in the live chat and 80 likes, so that's
195.
Less than half. We need some more likes out there. Plenty of time to give us a thumbs up. It's an easy thing to do. Love is a nice thing to spread.
We can hit 100 by the end of the show. Hit the like button because of Ryan Herrera, I guess.
There he is.
Even though he's wearing a Mizzou hat.
Can you give a thumbs up for Ryan Herrera?
Credit to me.
Ryan Herrera gave us a thumbs up. Now you give us a thumbs up. So Ryan, what were the best nuggets from the clubhouse after the game?
It's kind of funny. Not that David Ross was like angry or anything, but it was he wasn't as happy as you might expect a manager whose team just won a series.
Yeah.
I think some of that stemmed from just the pitching, and he didn't think really anyone was like pitched as good as he knows they can. Which I guess is good. Is like you probably want your manager to like expect the best out of you every time. But he did say that like regardless of that, they were able to make the pitches when they needed to. Hayden got in some traffic there, was able to make some pitches when he needed to. Keegan came in and cleaned up a little mess from Mark Leiter, and I think he was able to get out of his own mess later on. Just like I think you could kind of tell the pitching wasn't like as crisp, maybe is the right word for it, as we've seen them this season, but still able to keep the Padres off the board for the most part. And I think that's one thing that, like, Ross definitely appreciates, is that even when guys don't have their best stuff, like Hayden was one of them, is he's still kind of figuring things out and tinkering with his pregame routine or these other things that maybe is affecting him when he gets on the mound. But yeah, like Ross, he appreciates that the guys are able to go out there, compete, battle, and make the pitches when they need to. One other one is, like, of course, Dansby's home run was huge. But I think one maybe not underlooked play, but it's not one that, like, you look at a box score post game, you don't even know it happened unless you saw it. But Madrigal's play at third on Tatis, I want to say it was.
Nice.
Yes.
I mean, everyone was talking about that. I think Ross kind of said it was it might have been the play of the game, right? Like the game saving play, to be able to get Tatis there. We talk about Madrigal's defense at third base, how it's not Gold Glove by any means, but it's been, maybe better than we expected 4 or 5 months ago when they first started talking about it. That's kind of an example of it, where it's a guy who's still kind of learning a new position at third base, a position he hadn't played before, and goes up and makes a really tough play look difficult. I don't disagree with David Ross. I think that's one of those plays that really saves a game, because another run scores. They keep the lineup moving, and you don't know what happens from there. So to be able to get that out and end that threat was obviously a really huge play. I think that shouldn't be overlooked at how important that play was to the win today, because that was for a guy that isn't a traditional third baseman. It was a really impressive play.
Cody has vowed not to yell anything bad about Nick Madrigal for a week because that play was so good.
I never said anything bad. I said I won't complain about it.
You won't complain. No matter what happens, you won't complain about Nick Madrigal, because he goes
0 for 5 with all 5 groundouts to second base. I won't complain.
That was a nice play.
April 27th, Thursday, April 27th. So next Thursday, the end of that ban is over.
He's doing what he has to do to stay on this roster.
Yeah.
Play third base, play clean third base when he's there, get hits, and I'm okay with Madrigal right now. I know there was a lot of anger about it early on. Let's see, Ryan. Was there any comment about Nelson Velasquez? There was a lot in the chat about that, about people just saying, please, I don't know when Bellinger's coming back, but when he does, please don't let Nelson Velasquez go back to Iowa. I don't know what else he could do to show that he kind of belongs here right now.
I mean, well, I think that's a different. It's a different story when Bellinger's back, right? I think because then he becomes your fourth outfielder. But I won't even comment on that. I'll comment on just what everyone's saying about Nelson and his, he's in that middle stretch where he's in AAA, but he needs to be ready to go whenever he gets the call to the big leagues, because he's one step away, right? He's just in that little middle part of it. He's not full-time big leaguer yet, but he's the next guy. And I think the main thing that everyone talks about is how he's just taking advantage of the opportunities he's been given. He comes up, he's 3 days in. Cody Bellinger, we don't know if he's going to be back tomorrow from paternity leave. So Nelson may be back. His future, his immediate future of where he's playing may be decided tomorrow. But it's he's a backup for 3 days. And he's hitting the ball pretty well. He's making good plays in the outfield, like he's been playing center field the whole season or something. That's just the way he's looking. And I think that's one of the big things that we've talked about. Some of these guys, Nick Madrigal's another one, where you're giving a role. It may not be the role you want, but it's the one you've got, and you've got to take advantage and take advantage of those opportunities. Nelson is one of those guys that the role he's in right now is that guy that's kind of shuttling between Iowa and Chicago. And if he can continue to come back up when he's needed and take advantage of those opportunities, yeah, that's when you do start getting how can we send this guy back down? Like how can we move, how can we maneuver the roster to make sure he can stay in Chicago with us? That's eventually he'll make the Cubs start asking themselves that question of how it's possible to send him back down if he's playing so well.
That's what we're hoping for. That's what he's hoping for sure. Like as Cubs fans, that's what you're looking for. Guys to make the Cubs make tough decisions wherever they might be. Doesn't mean Bellinger's not coming back. Bellinger's coming back.
Right. Well, I said it earlier. If Bellinger comes off the paternity list tomorrow, then he'll be in center field. And as much as Velasquez has played well, I'd rather see Bellinger out in center the way he's played this year. The thing about Velasquez that opens things up for him is there is a DH, and they have guys who can play DH. So for his bat alone, I think he should remain here. And I think a lot of people will agree with that. So I am intrigued to see how, if they were to keep him, who they would send down. That's a different scenario. Or if they just DFA'd someone, which I don't think they'll do. So it'll be interesting to see.
All right, we're at about an hour here, so let's get to who you got. And I don't have a dog in this race, so let's get to the heated competition because there are people that can make some arguments today. I took Trey Mancini, so I will not be winning who you got today. Corey took Nelson Velasquez, 1 for 3 with a homer. Ryan took Ian Happ, 2 for 4 with an RBI. Cody took Nico Horner, 1 for 4, but extends his on-base streak to 22 games. He also scored a run. And then Sarah last minute jumped in and said she wanted in on the action and took Dansby Swanson, 2 for 4 with his first home run. Now, I'll let that stew for a while. You guys think about how you're going to defend yourselves or what you're going to pick. I see we have Michael with a super chat, $10. Why take out Wesneski? Let him start the 6th. Ross is showing a lot of Madden tendencies with not trusting young players over trusting veterans. Not a good sign with all the young talent coming. I think they just wanted him to have a good feeling after 5 innings and
I don't know,
some up and downs. And
I'm sorry, Michael, I don't know what you were watching, but Wesneski, he was fine, but
he could have left. He could have left him in, but I'm not.
I'm not saying he got lucky only giving up 1 run, but it's not like he was sharp against every hitter and was mowing guys down.
We
So
did question
I was okay with
whether or not he was coming out, and I said, I bet he takes him
Would
out.
I have gotten on board with him coming back out for the 6th? Sure, because the Cubs needed the innings. But at the same time, I understood it just because the guy has been struggling. You got a good start out of him. Hopefully he can take that confidence and that momentum into his next one.
And thank you for the super chat. Definitely a debatable
Appreciate
topic
you.
for sure. Don't say you're 100% wrong. What do you think for who you got, Ryan?
Well, Sarah, if we're counting the Swanson pick, I think it'd have to be Swanson.
Sarah, he's not sure he wants to count it.
I'm leaving that.
Joey also would have had.
He had Hosmer.
I was late to the party. I get it. It's okay. It's okay.
She wasn't on the graphic, but she was on the live pregame show, putting in a verbal take.
Well, Thomas says Dansby. He's on my side.
Well, I said if Dansby is
counted,
he's
the winner.
Then I would go Dansby. We'll leave it to the self-appointed commissioner.
We're gonna
Let's go.
How heartbreaking.
Sarah's gonna go to 1-0.
How heartbreaking is this for Joey and any other producer? Never winning, but Sarah, first time who you got
Walks in, throws a pick, ends the show.
She's like,
That's just how things work.
I like his wife in the Red Stars.
I like him.
I do. No, I look at everything, you know. I look at who he is as a person, and that speaks volumes to who he is as a player. And look what happened.
It's an excellent choice. There's a lot of possible winners there. I would say if Dansby had not won it, I would agree. Sarah wins with Dansby. She's 1-0. We all take L's, but
Corey's going to be so mad.
Corey's Nelson Velasquez 1 for 3. Cody Nico 1 for 4, but the streak, or Ian Happ 2 for 4 with an RBI.
I think Happ takes it. That's just
boy, I can make an argument for all 3 of those. Velasquez did give them the lead that they never relinquished.
My guy currently has the second longest on-base streak in baseball.
Sarah, you didn't get your picture on there.
I know. I don't have. I know. I gotta.
We gotta work on that. We'll give it to Sarah.
character.
Sarah's now 1-0.
Yeah, she goes.
Let's go.
Corey's not in the studio to argue, so that's where the tiebreaker.
But he didn't know that Sarah made a pick, and so whenever he asks who wins, who you got in the Slack, and we tell him it's not him, he's gonna be so mad. I look forward to it.
Joey's
really
going to be
do.
mad, too.
Yeah,
Joey's
because
gonna be real
Hosmer hit
frustrated.
a homer. Yeah.
So we all take the L, and Sarah 1-0. Now, again, that will not be a valid 1-0 unless you make 50% of the choices before the end of the season. But
I will.
So you got to start making a pick every day.
You got to start making some picks. Then the graphics really.
I know. I
got to
start changing the graphics.
All right, we all got to get over to the big Joe's on Weed party. Don't forget you can get there. We do want to mention before you go though. Lots of hot tickets coming up this summer to concerts, games when the Cubs come back in town. I believe the Marlins actually come back here early in May for a series with the Cubs. That'll be a good one to see there. But lots of concerts. T-Swift, get your tickets now, guys. Get your tickets now. I saw that Chance the Rapper is going to be at the United Center. You don't have to worry about these other places to get tickets. The best place to do it on there are last-minute deals. Use the Game Time app. That's what you want to use. Buying tickets to your favorite events shouldn't be stressful. Taylor Swift, Chance the Rapper, whatever it might be, Game Time is fast and easy. It's the best way to buy tickets for sports, music, comedy, and theaters near you. With killer deals on last-minute ticket deals, best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over those tickets. Start getting hyped for the fun you're going to have. Went through them, saw you can get a lot of good seats still for upcoming games. I can tell you what, you can get some real good prices on White Sox tickets this upcoming weekend.
There it is.
Real good prices on some White Sox tickets.
Real good ones.
Real good ones. So you make sure you go through all the deals you can find. Game Time, last minute place to find your tickets. It's the fastest growing ticketing app in the country for a reason. Get images of your seat before you buy, so now you can know what to expect before you arrive. Buy those tickets in a matter of seconds. 2 taps, you're set. The tickets go right to your phone. You don't have to dig through your email. Snag those tickets without the stress. Download the Game Time app, create an account. Use the code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Redeem with the code CHGO, $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. By the way, Cubs win.
One last thing, and I said I was going to say this before the end of the show. Miami Marlins, I haven't forgot about that stupid graphic that you guys didn't put out. I haven't forgot. I need the Cubs to win like 26-3 combined this weekend. No prisoners. You're all dead to me. Good night to everyone except the entire state of Florida. All right, I'm done.
And thanks for checking out the CHGO Cubs podcast presented by DraftKings, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app. Use the promo code CHGO when you sign up. Hope to see you at Joe's on Weed Street Thursday and Friday. That's today and tomorrow for the draft party. Good luck to the Bears, the CHGO Bears team as well. And we will see you next time. Corey and Brendan,
Sunday
the
night.
next podcast coming up. And we'll be back for more live podcasts all next week. Until then, fly the W.